Hey everybody, great to be learning with you today as we begin part 2 of our focus on Zoreya and look at a second application of its laws. Previously we learned that Zoreya is defined as promoting plant growth, and that one practical application occurs when you do something like plant seeds in the earth. But today we'll briefly explore a second application of Zoreya, and perhaps the most practical of all, watering plants, shrubs, and grass. Now obviously anytime you water the lawn, you are liable for Zoreya. The water that comes from your sprinkler system, like you see here, makes it possible for plants and grass to remain nourished and to keep growing. There is, however, one possible way to still water your lawn and not violate any laws of Shabbat. And that is, of course, if you use a timer. If your sprinkler system is pre-programmed before Shabbat to go off during Shabbat, then technically you have not violated any laws, and we'll see the reason for that together in class. It's a concept called grumma. But a much trickier situation is when you're eating outdoors on Shabbat. Anytime you picnic outside, you run the risk of violating Zoreya, since it's possible that you might spill some of your beverage on the grass. This doesn't mean, however, that picnicking is totally off limits, because in class we'll discuss some variables that will help us determine the precise halachic factors that we have to consider when evaluating this kind of situation. It's not exactly so clear-cut that picnics should be forbidden. We'll have to look at that a little more closely. But another potential Zoreya issue occurs when you try to dry off lawn furniture that got wet from the rain. In general, this would be forbidden to do because of Zoreya. We'll see why together in class. But there is, however, one exception. As long as the grass was already noticeably wet from the rain, and you receive no direct benefit from spilling the water off of the chair onto the ground, technically, you would be allowed to spill the water off. Now, there's much more to discuss together in class, but for now, we've now seen a second application of Zoreya, watering plants and grass or shrubs on Shabbat, and whether or not those situations would be subject to the laws of Zoreya. Looking forward to continuing the conversation and the learning with you when we return.